Hey, Darin Garman here, and I get questions a lot from investors about our apartment holdings, what we're up to, why I think apartments are going to be the place to be in terms of where your money's invested, especially over the next 5 to 10 years. And what I thought I would do is give you, kind of take the curtain back and at least maybe pull one of our properties out just to give you an idea of what we're thinking and where we're seeing the kind of benefits. And bottom line, why I'm talking about apartment investments being the go-to investment, not only because of where tenants are going to continue to go, people will continue to need to rent, and that's growing exponentially. Okay, so bottom line is I see a line of residents going out the door waiting to rent apartments, especially over the next 5 to 10 years. In addition to that, what that's going to cause is investors to want to own these kinds of properties. Okay, I'm talking large and small. Big companies you've probably heard of, small companies. Once this starts to reach a fever pitch, make no doubt about it, just like the hottest stock, just like the hottest company, multifamily apartments are going to be up in that same area. Okay, and by the way, the reason why we're dressed like this, and actually outside of one of our apartments, why don't you go ahead and take a quick back and forth on this apartment building. So this is one of our properties right here. We have a little less than $40 million worth of holdings right now. We're continuing to add to that as aggressively as we can. Once we have apartment property meet our criteria, we're going to continue to add that for the reasons that I mentioned. And the reason why I'm dressed like this is one of the worst things you can do as an owner is show up at the property looking like an owner, right? We want to look like a typical resident, a typical person, because one of the main things I like to do when we go to our properties is see really what's going on, making sure things are getting done the way they're supposed to. And it's kind of hard to do that when you look like the owner, okay? And so what I want to do now is, you went ahead and you took a look at the property, right? You went back and forth with it. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go in and let's actually look at an apartment, okay? Let's go. Got a nice atrium setup. So these are going to be one-bedroom units. One-bedrooms are going to be really hot over the coming years, mainly because of how the majority of the middle class's income is really stagnant. It's not going to be growing very much. And so one-bedroom apartments is really where it's going to be in terms of demand. And I'm not saying that's going to be the definite place or the overall place, but we're really going to see high demand in one bedrooms. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's go take a look at it. Good news is we managed to have one empty. It's rare that we have one unit empty in this location. Also because of the amenities, you'll see the nice atrium area. Again, we're pulling this property out just to give you kind of behind the scenes look. So this unit that I'm showing you is already rented. They're moving in here over the company. Go on, I'll show you the top. So just to give you kind of a little private tour here, I mean, this is pretty much what we're seeing in demand in terms of apartments, one-bedroom apartments like this. And you can go ahead and pan around a little bit if you want, just to give the folks a little bit of an idea. So this is nothing fancy. I mean, this is a nice apartment. It's one bedroom. It's a little bit, I'd say a little bit under 600 square feet. And it's got the typical amenities. And what do I mean by typical? I mean, you got a stove, you got appliances, you got a refrigerator, you got your dishwasher, and you got a lot of updating done in terms of floor coverings, countertops, those kinds of things, right? So this is not a brand new rehab. This is not where we sink in a ton of capital, make everything brand new, refurbish, gut everything, and no. This is about making the current product that we own as nice as we possibly can without spending too much money on it, and of course at the same time getting as much rent as we can too. So with an apartment like this, the other thing that you typically would see is utilities, right? So you got to pay utilities. So with an apartment like this, the residents are going to pay their own heat, which is typically gas heat. In some cases, electric. They're going to pay their own electricity. Okay, so they're going to pay their own light bill. And in most instances, not all, the owners will probably pay the water, sewage, and the garbage. There are some of our apartments in our portfolio where the residents do pay all the utilities, but with most apartment properties that we own, which most of them were built in the 70s and 80s and a few in the 90s, that was the case when they were built. Okay, again, it's all about cash flow, so as long as you build those utility costs in the cash flow, it's going to be fine. But this is what I'm talking about in terms of where the demand is going to be from renters. This kind of apartment, as I said, it's already rented. The building that we're in, all of the apartments are already rented. And they're going to continue to remain rented, and even when we have a turnover. So like this one just turned over, and the reason it turned over was the resident that was here working for a company, got transferred, and moved. Well, we had this rented less than a week after that. And when I'm talking about rented, I just want to make sure your finger's not there. There we go. When I'm talking about rented, I'm talking about a good tenant. We're not just putting the first warm body that can come into our office and fill out a rental application. Okay? Why don't you come back here? I'll show you this too. So, so here's a nice unit with basically a bath and a half. Right? Of course, you hear that ceiling fan on there to give that a little note. So there's a bath there. We'll come into the bedroom here. So you've got a nice large bedroom here. I mean, the bedroom's probably about, maybe a little less than 200 square feet. Ton of closet space, right? Ton of closet space. And then you've got another half bath here. So there's another half bath right off to the bedroom, right? So this provides a little cabinet there, right, which is kind of nice. You got your sink right out here. So this provides most of the amenities that most residents are looking for. So most of our apartments don't have big swimming pools. Most of them don't have big clubhouses. We do have apartments that have that. But the bread and butter of the apartment projects in our $40 million, a little less than that portfolio, consists of properties just like this. Okay? And so if you kind of look out the window here too, it might be kind of hard because I've got these blinds here. But you can see the rooftops there. We're half a mile from one of the largest shopping malls in the state. Okay? So when you're about half a mile from one of the largest shopping malls in the state, location plays a key to that. Heck, I can take a 10-minute walk. I can get my groceries. I can have my movie tickets purchased. I can go out to a nice restaurant with my boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whatever. I can do all of that, and it's all right here. That's the other reason that these kind of apartments are going to remain popular in terms of not only residents wanting to live here, but also in terms of investors wanting to buy them. Right? Because you want them in the locations that are close to the Starbucks, that are close to all of the shopping, the movies, the grocery stores, all those kinds of things. And so this is where America is going in terms of investing. Because, again, the majority of the middle class are going to continue to basically be flatlined on the amount of income that they can make, on the kind of opportunities that they have, and they're only going to have really three choices. Number one is buying a home, which they could do. However, qualifications, down payments, regulatory issues, and then you've got the cost of upkeep, property taxes, insurance, all those kinds of things. Good luck in making that work for the majority. Now, the other choice that they've got is renting, right? Renting. And so when it comes to renting, you can either live in as nice of a place as you can while still being budget conscious, okay? Or you can do something like rent a house, right? Well, I'm going to tell you, renting houses are not going to be as popular as they used to be, because if you rent a house, you're typically doing what? Yep, I got to take care of the lawn, I got to take care of the snow removal. If you live in a place like Iowa, I got to take care of all, and most people don't have the time or the capital to do that. So where are most people going to go? at the end of the day, it's going to be apartment properties just like this. And so I thought it would be at least instructive and at least kind of fun just to show you an example of what I've been talking about. And also below here, if you want, you can click on the link that's below here. I've got my report where I talk about all of this. I go into detail. This is a report that I've already sent out to my partners. This is a report that I've already sent out to those investors that have said, hey, Darin, the next project that comes up, the next opportunity that comes up, I want to be notified. I want to be in on it. You're going to get that information, the same that I've sent out to those people. You're going to have access to it too right now if you want to. And even if you don't decide to invest in any kind of apartment sometime in the near future, I'm telling you, this is vital information you're really going to want to know about and have at least in the back of your mind, so when an opportunity does come up, you can take advantage of it. Okay? So, I'm glad you were with us today. I thought this little tour, I thought it would be informative for you to find out what we're up to, a little instructive, give you an idea of the method to what our processes are in a nutshell. And so I wish you a great week, a profitable week, and we'll talk to you later. All right, see you. Bye-bye.